Marcus never thought quitting would feel so heavy. It wasn't dramatic. There was no shouting, no breakdown, no disaster. Just a quiet moment late at night, sitting on the edge of his bed, staring at the floor, wondering how his life ended up feeling so small. At 32, Marcus had done everything right, graduated, got a stable job, paid his bills, stayed responsible, but every morning, something inside him resisted waking up. He worked in a warehouse on the outskirts of town. Long shifts, repetitive work, loud machines, quiet dreams. He told himself it was temporary, but deep down, he knew the truth. Temporary had become permanent. Marcus once dreamed of building something of his own. He loved creating ideas, plans, visions for a better future. But after years of rejection, setbacks, and hearing be realistic, he slowly stopped believing in himself. Not suddenly, gradually, and that's the dangerous part. The kind of quitting that happens so quietly, you don't even notice you're doing it. One night, after another exhausting shift, Marcus checked his bank account. Still tight, still stressful. He sighed and muttered the words he never thought he'd say out loud. What's the point? That question followed him to sleep. It hung in the air like a heavy fog. The next morning, Marcus noticed something he had ignored for years: a man in his late 50s working beside him. Same job, same position, same routine, 30 years. That realization hit harder than any failure. Marcus wasn't afraid of hard work, he was afraid of staying stuck. He was afraid of his future becoming a mirror of that man's past. That night, he stood in front of the mirror and looked himself in the eyes, not angrily, not sadly, but honestly, and he made a decision. He refused to quit on himself. Not the job, not yet, but he quit the belief that his life was already decided. He quit waiting for permission to want more. Marcus didn't suddenly feel confident, he felt terrified. But he remembered something his father once told him: courage doesn't mean you read not scared, it means you move anyway. So he started small. So small, it felt almost pointless. He woke up 1 hour earlier each day. He turned off the endless scroll of distractions. He started to learn again, read books, watch tutorials, failed, and tried again. Some nights he was too tired to think straight. Some mornings he wanted to hit snooze and just give in. No one clapped for him. No one even noticed. The progress was slow, silent, and completely invisible to the outside world. But something inside him was changing. Marcus stopped complaining about his job. He stopped waiting for a lucky break. He stopped blaming his circumstances. He realized that complaining was just another way of giving his power away. 6 months passed. Then, a setback hit harder than all the rest. A personal project he'd poured his heart into 4 weeks failed completely. No results, no payoff, just wasted time and effort. For a moment, the old voice returned, whispering in his ear, "See, you're not cut out for this. Just go back to how things were." Marcus almost believed it. He almost gave in. But instead of letting that thought consume him, he asked a different question: what can this teach me? That single shift in perspective changed everything. It wasn't about winning or losing anymore. It was about learning and growing. He adjusted his approach. He improved his methods, and he kept going. A year later, Marcus wasn't rich. He wasn't famous. He hadn't made some dramatic escape, but he was free in a way he'd never been before. He was free from the belief that he was powerless, free from the mental prison he had built for himself. Then came the opportunity. It was a small one, nothing flashy. A chance most people would probably overlook, calling it too small or not worth the effort. But Marcus, now trained to see potential where others saw problems, took it, and it worked. That small win became momentum. That momentum became confidence. And that confidence became the courage to take bigger risks. 2 years after that quiet night when he almost gave up on everything, Marcus walked into the warehouse for the last time. He didn't leave with anger or with regret. He left with gratitude, The job hadn't trapped him. Giving up on himself would have. Marcus didn't escape his situation because he got lucky. He escaped because he refused to quit when quitting felt not only easy, but completely reasonable. And that's the real lesson here. Most people don't fail because they aren't capable. They fail because they stop too early. They give up just before the breakthrough. They quit during the long, boring, invisible middle part where all the real work happens. If you're tired, rest. If you're scared, breathe. If you feel lost, ask for direction, but don't quit. Because the version of you who makes it to the other side is counting on the version of you who refuses to stop today. Thank you for watching.